Hey guys, and welcome back to another Overwatch Moments video. Now this isn't a montage video, instead we're going to be discussing the latest update that just dropped today. Now this update has a lot in it. It has the new Ashe skin, which is cool and all, but the main focus is this new experimental card that you, me, and everyone else can play. If you're on console, PC, it doesn't matter because it is on the live servers, so we can all just hit play, click experimental, and jump straight into a game. For those of you who do not know, the experimental card right now is testing the 3-2-1 role queue, which is 3 DPS, 2 healers, and 1 tank. Of course, that's very different than the 2 tank, 2 DPS, and 2 healers that we have right now, and honestly, it's changed quite a bit. Of course, alongside the 3-2-1 change, the heroes did have adjustments. Keep in mind the adjustments only affect gameplay within the experimental card. These adjustments are to Zarya's bubble, in which when she bubbles one teammate, it spreads and bubbles her teammates around her. This is to allow her to be a bit more of an actual tank, since one tank alone means a lot more workload for a single player. On top of that, Roadhog had some adjustments in which when he heals himself, there's an AoE effect, like an area effect around him, that heals his teammates and allows him to take 25% less damage. Again, just trying to make him a little bit more of a tank. Of course, there were changes to every single tank. We're not going to get into nitty-gritty numbers. I'll post them on screen here. The reason for that is because these numbers, I think, are going to basically be changing every few days. The thing about the experimental card is that it is server side, so they just have to change a few numbers in the background, and instantly when we play the next match, there's changes. So the whole point of the experimental card is for Blizzard to basically go crazy on balancing. Okay, now that you are caught up with what the experimental card is and what's going on with it, I need to just throw a few disclaimers. One, sorry for the gameplay in the background. This is me just playing, trying everything out, trying different DPSs, getting some thoughts. It's not going to be like top 500 gameplay, so I'm sorry about that one. On top of that, I'm sorry if I ramble on a little bit. There is no script or structure for this video. It's more so to update you guys and then give you my thoughts, because honestly, this is the biggest change we've had to Overwatch in a very, very long time, and the potential is honestly through the roof. The first thing would be, is this fun? Is 3-2-1 fun? And I'm happy to report, not only me, but a lot of my friends, a lot of people I've asked in chat and through the Discord, really, really like 3-2-1. It is fun. The truth is it's so much more fast-paced. Games do not stall. People aren't just kind of running in circles behind a shield. People are attacking, being aggressive, trying to be on the offensive. Sometimes it's a little bit too fast, don't get me wrong, and it is not at all balanced at the moment. But if we're just looking at it from a fun perspective, not a competitive perspective, it's fun. I like it way more than 2-2-2. I did not like the tanks. I did not like a bunch of shields, then people hiding, then getting healed up, and then the same fight goes on forever. To me, it was no fun. This really, really just gave that, I don't know, that little oomph to Overwatch that we really needed, at least in my opinion and a few others. But make sure to let me know what you think about the experimental card. If it's more fun, less fun, I need to hear your thoughts down below. Another huge thing to ask is, how did the change affect each and every hero? And in this case, maybe I feel strongly about it more than others do, but it affected every single hero in some sort of way. Even though only the tanks had number adjustments, the very fact that there is only one tank on each team now kind of side buffs and debuffs a lot of people, and this really does make a difference. Let me just start with Widowmaker, for example. Widowmaker has always been strong, of course, if you're half good at her. She's always been very strong. However, if the enemies were just running 2 tanks, one could switch to Winston and D.Va, jump on her, and basically completely negate her. Literally any sort of dive tank could negate Widowmaker, especially in the lower ranks. Now, you still can, the enemy tank can pick Winston or D.Va, but if that D.Va or Winston now jumps the enemy Widow, they are completely leaving their teammates vulnerable to an attack, a push, getting picked out. It's like, if a tank goes to dive an enemy Widow, you no longer have a tank for a little while until they're back. So, you know, no matter how you look at it, Widowmaker just got buffed. However, there's still people like Genji, people like Doomfist who can jump on the Widowmaker. Even if not as effectively, they still can. However, there are certain DPSs that got buffed even more. Someone like Genji, in my opinion, is back. I have not had this much success and fun playing Genji in a long time, dude. Like, Genji is way stronger now that I don't have to deal with two other tanks, you know what I mean? Jumping onto squishies, DPS, and supports let me get resets faster. Resets faster means more dashing, which just makes me harder to hit, lets me ult charge even faster, and overall just push really aggressively. Genji was never good behind shields, he's good in the middle of a fight, so no matter how you look at it, only having one tank on each team buffed Genji as well. Now, I'm no analyst, but these changes are going to affect Bronze, Diamond, Top 500. We're all affected in just very different ways. Genji could now feel more smooth and viable in Gold, but a Top 500 can, tell you he's still useless. These are more so just my experiences and opinions, so make sure you're taking everything with a grain of salt. You can agree and disagree in the comments down below. That's what makes these changes extremely, extremely fun. Of course, there are a lot of different nerfs and buffs that are indirect because of the comp change. For example, I just feel Bastion won't be as strong. Even though he can mow down the squishies extremely fast, he'll no longer have a tank all to himself. Before, we would see like Diva as the tank with the rest of the team, and then a Reinhardt completely just protecting the Bastion in order to defend a certain objective. But now, if the Reinhardt is just stuck to the Bastion, the rest of the team is left without a tank. So there is a lot more pressure on the tank player, which is 100% the case, and how and what he decides to protect will make a big difference. No matter how I look at it, I guess bunker comp is kind of not really a thing, which is kind of good because it was boring. But stuff like a dive comp is extremely effective, since if you dive in, take out the one and only tank, the rest of the team really is left vulnerable. The healers need to pick up the pace even more now, and DPS, I guess, are having the most fun, to put it simply, because the thing is, let's say I'm playing Reaper. Reaper's always been strong. He doesn't feel stronger or weaker due to the comp change, but his job is a little bit easier. As a DPS, you want to take out the healers, but Reaper's so good at taking out tanks that when I was playing Reaper, I just went after the tank because I knew there was only one of them, and once they were gone, that's it. The rest of the team could dive in. So initiation is very different, and I believe it will change strategies a lot. Alright, so if the tank players have more pressures and the DPS are having fun, what happens to the healers? Now, when I was in my games, I would try to talk to everyone in the game and ask them how they feel about it, just to gather a little bit more perspective. The biggest thing is most people are having fun, but healers are saying that there isn't much of a difference, or they don't feel the difference. I'm not too sure how accurate this is. I thought there would be a bigger difference. I haven't played healer myself yet, but let's say I'm playing Ana and I have to heal 3 DPS heroes that are all dashing everywhere. I feel it's a little bit more challenging. On top of that, I don't have as much protection from any tank, and I have 3 DPS coming after me from the enemy side. So I feel like the healer role also is inevitably going to be a little bit more challenging. However, I'm not too sure. If you are a healer main and have played the experimental card, please let me know, because I'm very, very curious. I feel like the role did get harder no matter how I look at it. They have less defense and more people after them. But I don't know, all of this is still experimental, and to say it's balanced would be extremely wrong, because it's not balanced at all in my opinion, but it is one hell of a good time. Anyhow, I've been rambling way too long already, and I kind of just put the 10-minute mark as my cutoff to make it a normal video, but I think I could ramble on for about 20-30 minutes there. I have a lot of opinions, but I said this earlier, I don't want to get into the nitty-gritty of everything, more so the overall effects of the 3-2-1 experiment, and nothing more, nothing less, not exact numbers or exact heroes, because things will probably change weekly now with the experimental card. And honestly, if the 3-2-1 goes through or not, it doesn't matter, because the very fact that the experimental card exists now will change Overwatch forever. Let me know what you think one more time down below. More than ever in this video, I kept telling you guys, let me know down below, let me know down below, and that's because this is a discussion to have. This is what matters, and Blizzard wants our feedback in order to make Overwatch more fun, and these are the changes we need. They're just a huge fresh of breath air, I guess. But anyhow, if you somehow, which I don't think a lot of you did, but if you somehow made it to the end of the video through all this rambling and thought process, then thank you. That's some insane support right there. And honestly, leave a smiling emoji down below or a sun emoji, one or the other, so I can give you guys a heart, because if you supported this video, not even a montage, no editing, just me talking, you guys are absolutely nuts. So thank you so much for your support. Thank you so much for watching. Consider leaving a like if you enjoyed it, or a dislike if you didn't, that's fine. Consider hitting the subscribe button, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.